Hey guys, hope you're well. Back with a quick video on this subject. I get asked a lot. Weigh your food raw or cooked. So should I weigh my food when it's in a raw state or in a cooked state? My answer to everyone is always uncooked. Why? We're going to use this little graph here, or this little table, this little bit of writing that I've done. It's not really a graph, but you know. Basically, this is per 100 grams raw, okay? So, rice per 100 grams of raw weight rice before it's been cooked is 77 grams of carbs, because it's mainly a carb food, and 350 calories. Now, take someone who goes and puts with 100 grams of raw rice 200 milliliters of water, and then take someone who puts 400 milliliters of water with it. When you then weigh that once it's cooked, the one who's added more water to it is going to have rice that weighs more when it's been obviously cooked, you know, once it's been done. So you've got the 200 milliliter person, the 400 milliliter person. The one who's put more water in, that rice is going to weigh more, but it's still going to have the same amount of calories. But obviously they're not going to know that. They're going to, you know, if you're new to this, you might think, oh, okay, well, I've just weighed my rice out, and if you're weighing it out at per 100 grams, it's 77 grams of carbs. Now make sure that you know that's the raw one, because some people, no joke, will come to me and go, oh, you know, I had 300 grams of cooked weight rice last night, and it came in at like over 1,000 calories, and that's because they're basing it off the macros of raw. So it just gets really confusing. But also, like I say, you'll go online, you'll find on MyFitnessPal per 100 grams of raw weight, 100 grams of cooked weight rice, it was 28 grams of carbs. Right, but then that does depend on how much water in, because if someone's took 50 grams of rice and they've added 100 milliliters of water, then yes, you know, that might come out once it's cooked, that might come out at 100 grams of cooked rice. But if someone's taken 50 grams of rice and added 200 grams of water, or 200 milliliters of water, sorry, that rice now might come out at 150 grams, okay, at the end. So then they'll go and put, I had 150 grams of cooked weight rice. Well, no, because your rice weighed the same as the person who done that as well, but with less water. But because it weighs more, you're going to think you've had more carbs, okay? So hopefully you get what I mean there. And it's the same, that's the same for things like porridge and things like pasta, anything that's going to soak water in, okay? What about the other stuff? We've got to also look at the cooking methods. So for things like potato, 100 grams of potato before it's been cooked will give you 17 grams of carbs and 85 calories. Now, if you boil or steam, it's usually going to come out around about the same, okay? If you bake it though, a lot of the time it does weigh less when it comes out. So what people do is they do just a big batch of it and they go, oh, I need 300 grams of potato. So then they'll weigh 300 grams of cooked potato out, okay? Next time you do this, go and take 300 grams of raw uncooked potato and then bake it. And I guarantee it won't come out at 300 grams when it's cooked. It will weigh less. This doesn't mean you get to then have more. You need to basically stick to it. So if you think, oh, my potatoes when I've roasted them have shrunk and I had 300 grams at the start when I weighed it raw and now it's gone down to like 200. If you don't like that and you want to get more volume in, you don't want it to sort of technically lose weight, then steam them or boil them, okay? That would be my recommendation, okay? Same for chicken as well. So again, different sort of obviously macro, we're looking at protein here, but 100 grams of raw chicken will give you 23 grams of protein. What I found is most of the time, okay, and this is what I found, okay, but I still weigh mine. I don't use this as a method to just skip the one stage. Is most of the time I find that 100 grams of raw chicken weighs around about 75 grams once it's cooked. So for me, with the chicken that I get, etc., because I get it from the same place every time, it basically loses about 25% or 20, you know, for me that would be 25 grams of weight. So for me, if I want 100 grams of the protein I would get in 100 grams of raw chicken, I would usually have about 75 grams of cooked chicken. But I don't use that as a reason to get lazy. I still make sure I weigh it raw and then put it in. Now, how does this work if we then want to do some batch cooking? Really, really, really simple, okay? So, say you want 50 grams of rice in a meal and you want to do some batch cooking, okay, for example, it's really, really easy. All you've got to do is say, I want 50 grams of rice in a meal, okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to make it for 3 days. We're going to have 50 grams over 3 days, okay? So, times 3 equals 150 grams, okay? So that's 150 grams of rice in a dry form. Once you've cooked it, easy maths, say it, basically say it triples in weight. So say it comes out at 450 grams of cooked weight rice. Simple. You originally wanted 3 50-gram servings, so take 450, divide it by 3 equals 150 grams. Done. So your 50 grams of raw weight rice, to get the same macros, same carbs, same calories, X, Y, and Z, is going to be 150 grams once it's in a cooked state. Okay? And that is pretty much it. So my recommendation to anyone is, if you're taking a food that's going to be cooked, make sure that you are weighing it in an uncooked state. If you want to batch cook, you need to use this sort of method to do it. Okay? They're just a few examples for you. Have a little look through and make sure that your tracking is on point and correct, and obviously understanding the whole cooking method and water thing that I've described there as well. If you've got any questions, let me know. Like, subscribe, all the cool stuff, and until next time, peace out.